Hello guys, welcome back to Comic Book Cafe, and today we are reviewing Spawn, issue number 262, the epic finale, at least that's what it says on the issue, of the Satan Saga Wars. Again, written by Todd McFarlane, art done by Todd McFarlane, Eric Larson. This is, a lot of ways, kind of a Spawn book people wanted very many years ago. When you talk about, they built up for a long time, building up this big epic battle coming, and it never kind of ever came in Spawn, right? And it drug out forever, and it hurt the book ultimately. So, for those who don't know what's happened to Spawn during this, this Satan Saga War, Al Simmons, who of course was the original guy who wore that Spawn symbiote suit and died, has come back to the series Spawn. And when he come back, God basically tells him that the devil, Lucifer, has basically killed his wife Wanda and has her soul. And so Spawn immediately hatches out a way to save her. Now this Spawn, because of everything's happened in the past, does not like or trust God or Lucifer. He's kind of a guy who hates both sides. Heaven and hell. Hates them both, right? Understands they're both not what they point out to be and all sorts of stuff. Well, anyway, beginning of this book, we're stuck with Spawn and his wife Wanda, surrounded by Lucifer and his minions, trying to get out. Trying to save his wife. I don't think he even cares about getting out. Just trying to save his wife. Her soul. But his wife and unborn child soul. So we start this issue with Spawn being surrounded by him. Spawn, kind of jumps really quickly where this is one of those weird things where we're having an issue and this issue jumps. Because, okay, they're surrounded, they get there, and then all of a sudden, God shows up. Down there in hell or whatever. Light shimmers and God shows up. It was part of Spawn's plan to get these two big guys together. Enemies, whatever you want to call them. And the reason God's there is because Lucifer broke their deal because Wanda wasn't innocent. And he took her and killed her and took her soul. And so God and Lucifer are fighting. And you find out this was all part of Spawn's plan. This was his plan from the beginning, actually, before I guess he came back. His plan was to basically do this to these two. The only thing that I guess was that he wasn't taking in his original plan was the fact that Lucifer would kill his wife, or former wife, love of his life, and take her soul. This was never in his plan. His plan was basically to more or less take these two out, quite honestly. He disdains both of them. God gave him this big, powerful sword. So, God and him are fighting, and Spawn, takes his sword and hacks at Lucifer and cuts his fingers to get his wife loose because he has her in hand, trying to save her. And he tells her, you know what, you need to go. I got a plan. He was never meant for him to leave or survive. It was him meant to save her. And his wife drops the bomb on him. That the wrapped up thing is not an unborn child. It is actually a way for him to be reborn, to save other children, to help all the children, not just, her children, their children, to help all the children, not her children. So that's where you find out what's going on, and they get it, and, he throws it to Wanda, and this is where things turn, from you think it's going to go one way, it turns another way. So Spawn makes a deal saying, all of a sudden I'll give you the symbiote. And Lucifer goes, kind of looked at it, I'm sure he's thinking, what the heck is he doing? Except his deal was, and he said to God takes his wife to heaven. And he'll give him a suit. And Lucifer agrees. So God takes his wife and leaves. He gives him the suit, and he's human, and it was agreed that he could just walk free. Well, obviously, as he walks away, Lucifer sends his strongest minion to go basically kill. Don't let him leave there alive. Except Al Simmons is no dummy. The suit we ever have explodes. You see it. I don't think it kills Lucifer, but you don't know if it kills him or not, but it really messes him up. You see him exploding. Uh, and then you see Al Simmons still has a sword, a little bit of spawn power. The sword, he sticks it, in a spot so that basically Hell has lost contact, more or less, with the I guess the human world, outside world, I guess, more or less. And that's basically that's how it ends. Like, you see Wanda in heaven after that, looking down on him, and the other, I guess, people up in heaven ask her, asking her to join in. She goes, "What?" She goes, "I'm just checking on somebody." He goes, "What's going on?" He goes, uh, "They're doing something amazing," and that's how the book ends. So we don't entirely know exactly what happened to Al Simmons, like, totally, like, what happened to him. Like, obviously the next issue's title is Return to Earth, so the thing she gave him, I guess clearly he's going to be reborn. The question is, where does it go now? He gave the suit to Lucifer. Lucifer exploded. Who knows if he's dead or not? A lot of unanswered questions. Like, a lot of sagas end with a lot of, things not really wrapped up. In this case, there's not. There's still loose ends to build on after this is over, in this finale. But it was a nice story. Al going back to save his love of his life, his ex, obviously not his wife anymore. And so, and his wife basically making him, don't leave her, don't, because he was trying to bring her back. He's like, don't worry about me. She wanted him to leave her there because she had already, she lived as much. It wasn't a newborn child. It was a way for him to come back to to be reborn. And he loved her so much, he was trying to save her. So they both were trying to basically save each other. Overall, again, I liked, since the return of the Al Simmons Spawn, and the storyline, which now is this current storyline, which has mostly come to a conclusion. This book has been actually really good, to be honest with you. And considering it's 262 issues into the series, that's a lot to say, because the series hasn't exactly had a good run the entire time. And it's good to see it starting to turn back to reform and being a really decent book. Since he's come back, it's been really decent. And if you haven't read Spawn, and if you like the Al Simmons Spawn, this might be a time to jump in. Because 263 will be the next story arc. Now, obviously, if you're going to try to read 262, you should probably read the whole story arc from the beginning, since he came back, so that you know exactly what's going on since he came back. But overall, really good artwork and a really good book. Again, surprisingly good story. And I say this book and this run has surprised me, truthfully. And now, where do they go from here? It's questions. What is Spawn now? Is he now protector of, Wanda's new husband and the family she left behind? What's he going to be when he was reborn? There's a lot of unanswered questions, obviously. So, anyway, what do you guys think of Spawn 262? Did you like it, not like it? How have you liked the run so far? Have you liked it? Again, it's been very surprising to me, because, you think for your issues and all this is going pretty good, but you're waiting for it to kind of fall off, and it never did. So now we'll see if they continue to go with the next story arc after this. But anyway, again, this is a really enjoyable book that will surprise you. And that's all I can say. Again, if you haven't read Spawn, I would start beginning of this since he came back. And the Spawn Returns, and enjoy it. Anyway, guys, love to hear your guys' opinions like always, and I'll do another review soon. Later, guys.